You might be seeing it, streaming it live, but it's going on my unpublished page only. Okay. So good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to this afternoon session, webinar number 2 of the mini day of education that we do every year twice on 30th of June and 12th of August. So please allow me to share my screen so that I can begin the proceedings. I hope you can see my screen. I'm temporarily muting you all so that we can begin the proceedings. If you can see me, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. If you can see my screen and hear to me clearly, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box or whatever you say. Great, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. So welcome to this session for financial literacy for women. Let's begin the session. Of course, as usual, all my presentations always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty, who has given me much more than what I deserve. And of course, when it comes to finance, no thanks can be due, can be lesser for this man you see on screen. Of course, he has been the biggest influence in my life when it comes to learning or teaching about clinical finance. I have my MBA with me, MBA finance with me, but whatever clinical finance I'm able to impart to you all, this is courtesy him only. So thank you, Dad, for everything. And of this session, women have a strange relationship with money, and that is what we are going to discuss in today's presentation. Of course, men are also welcome in this. So this is the financial literacy for women session. Siblings, mothers, better halves, whatever relationship we come across in our families. This is for a session for all the families, I would say. So here we begin. Of course, this session is attributed or a tribute to my late father, whose death anniversary falls today. So let's begin the session, and starting by a very generalized statement which women make. They say, finance is not my cup of tea. And I really fail to think, why do they say so? The problem is they are, with utmost respect, I would say, they are born managers. They manage household finances, household budget without even learning formally about it. They have their ATMs with them. That is a different matter altogether, that Modi ji decides to rob those ATMs every now and then after 6 to 7 years in the form of demonetization. So whatever you can say khazana they have, you can say bolstered in those finances is looted by our honorable PM. So if they say it is not our cup of tea, they are actually badly mistaken. They are born managers to manage money. Money is not only about investing. It is first about saving first. And there can be no better way to save if you know how to budget properly. It all starts from there only. So once you learn how to budget means how much to spend, how much to save, how much is needed right now, how much is not needed right now. Of course, majority I'm talking, not everyone, because we have seen that bad managers in finance in men also, and bad managers in finance for women also. But yes, it is indeed their cup of tea. They budget well, they save well. The only thing is they don't know how to invest well. So, but then men don't know either of that part. They are very poor budgeters in that sense. They are very poor savers in that sense. They are impulsive buyers in one go. So it is equal for both the sexes. It is not that women have that hatred towards finances. Men can also have it, but saying it is not my cup of tea. Please get over it. So the women money bond is at best an uneasy relationship, and at the worst, I would say it does not even exist. What is the problem? The problem is years of social conditioning. तू तो लड़की है, तू क्या सीखेगी, तू जा, हमें पैसों की बात करनी है. Whenever there has been, you can say, discussion of money matters in the family, the females have been shunned away, or you can say जाओ चाय बना के लाओ, हम लोग पैसे की बात करते हैं, like that. You go and make tea or whatever, do the household work. So that is the way our patriarchal conditions have conditioned, and women have actually made peace with that also, that we are not, our family members did not consider us good enough to handle money. So that is the reason we are actually not good enough to handle money. So let it be with the my man, my brother, my son, or whatever relationships you go in your life as you grow up. They are the ones, immediate men around you, immediate men close to you. They are the one who are handling your money. And that is where the problem comes, because you are not allowed to handle, you don't have that positive relationship with money. Even when you sometimes work out of, you can say, hard labor or something, you feel कि कोई बात नहीं, मैंने थोड़ा सा कर दिया, किसी का भला ही किया. It's like it delves in, it actually appears in all the aspects of your life, be it the payment collection from the patient also, and be it spending also, be it management, be it you can say investing. So it spills on to the other spheres of life also. I've seen many good, you can say, colleagues of mine, female dentists, who hate to take money from the patient. They said, thoda sa kiya, kya lena, kya charge karna. So that is where they commit a mistake. So if they have been since time immemorial, dependent upon firstly father, brother, husband, maybe then son, or any other relationship in their surroundings, they have been dependent upon that. That is where they have been not handling money themselves. So as I said, it is rather the reverse. They are, by nature, they are actually equipped to handle their money for their goals, for their, you can say, for their management in a better way, in a much better way than men. The only thing is they don't realize this part. So they keep on depending others for saving or investment decisions. I don't know anything, so let me manage, let me do that. Always see in my finance group also, I have a lot of female dentists, but of course you are attending here, but I see many of them not even asking a single question sometimes. Most of the questions in finance group are asked by men only. Again, the problem does not lie with anyone. The start always has to be from you. It is your own mindset which you have to overcome first before you realize that others should start giving you due importance. You have to give yourself a due importance before others will start to respect you. Learn to shun that hand away so that you are equals in managing the money part. So again, when it comes to caretaking, of course, being biologically superior, be it for children or be it for sick parents, it is the women who take a break from their working lives. Of course, their career does not progress in a linear fashion. When they don't work for longer times, they will lose out on retirement benefits, especially the ones who are in job. So they have to think about these aspects. The root cause of every big problem in their life is money. People will always say, mere Baba ji kehte hain, money is not everything. Money is secondary in life. All good, very good. The Babaji himself came in an AC car, a bulletproof AC car. He went back in a helicopter. So he will say that money sab kuch nahi hota. Say this statement about money once you have earned money, once you have made money. So making money is equally important as managing money. Most of you are dentists. So being in my community, so I know most of you are in practice, except a few who have been in the break period, or you can say in the maternity aspects, or maybe because of relocation. I know a few of them who keep on messaging and asking for advice sometimes, but majority of you are in practice. Earning, not earning, earning handsomely, earning not very handsomely. Again, those things are secondary. The day you start to recognize your inner self, that you are equally good like men to understand about money, that will be the day of your awakening. And once you are awakened, you can say, bolte na Durga Mata ko, Kali Mata ko mat jagao. So it is like that, because your inner self, when it wakens up, when it wakes up, it is going to cause a lot of change in your life. So the root cause is lack of knowledge about personal finance. Unfortunate thing is many don't even distinguish between what is a professional finance and what is personal finance. Many times we mix clinic payments with our personal life payments, and obviously that is a wrong sign to have. So yes, women act like a sandwich also sometimes. They're caught between the financial needs of their parents and children. Of course, they are the ones who have to make the most of the sacrifices, but then that is the reason for them, I would say, they are biologically superior. It doesn't happen everyone everywhere, like the Hindi movie Ki and Ka, starring Arjun Kapoor and Kareena Kapoor. I think they both were there. So it is not about that movie where you do a role reversal. It is always in the movies part, but in the practical life, women are the ones who are making bigger sacrifices. Their financial pitfalls, they have encounters at work and home. They have a gender pay gap, which is a bitter truth of our, you can say, Hippocratic society. Financial illiteracy is there in the system, and and trust me, it is not only with women, it is with men also. And because they also believe that money is to be handled by our CA, money is to be handled by our investment advisor, and ultimately they own, or you can say they themselves, and they end up investing that money or handling that money themselves. So there are a lot of familial responsibilities also, marital hurdles also, legal bias also. These are the ways where you can say these are the barriers to monetary or financial empowerment for females. So why do you need to be financially independent? And this holds good for men and women both. Once you're financially independent, you have more time to spend with your family and loved ones. Because when you earn well, when you save well, when you budget well, when you save well, when you invest well, you make your money work for you. And that means you are not relying only on one source of income. You are relying on two sources of income. Your money is also earning for you passively. But for that, you need to put in a good amount. For putting in a good amount, you need to earn well. You need to earn well and have that knowledge as well. So it is all connected with each other. And once you are earning well, financially independent, even if you take a 7-day vacation, you are not having a disturbance in your mind. Who will be running my clinic in my back, or who will be handling my patients in the back? It's okay. You lose some, you win some. Your patients will also understand. I ask many colleagues that when was the last time you took a long vacation? When I talk of long vacation, I really mean 6 to 7 days, not 1 to 2 to 3 days. That is not a vacation. That is just a break. That is known as a break. How many of you actually took a break? 6 to 7, 5 to 6, 5 to 7 days, or 6 to 7 days approximately. If it was not in the past 5 years, then you are not financially independent. Something is cribbing you, pricking you at the end, base of your mind, that what will happen to my patients, or even if your husband is a dentist or a doctor, again, what will happen to my patients in the back? So financial education has actually no price on it. I would call it priceless. It gives you a lot of opportunities in life. And of course, it builds generational wealth. And once you are financially independent, you have the peace of mind. You can explore your hobbies. You're not always meant to work, and work. We work 8 hours a day, max 9 hours. We have to understand work is not our life. Work is a part of our life. If you're working 8 to 9 hours a day in your professional sphere, maybe a couple of hours in your home sphere, of course, micromanaging of your home end is done by various ways. Where is the time to explore your hobbies? You sleep for 8 hours, you still have 4, 5, 6 hours with you. If you're not exploring what is meaningful to you, or you spend your time with the idiot box, which we call television, or maybe on the telephone or the cell phone, that is another idiot box. So if you're spending your time with these things, then you need to understand that you are actually doing an injustice to your inborn talent. And I always say it very fondly. You teach a man, you will educate one person. But if you teach a female, you will educate the whole family. That is a bitter truth again of the society. And if you learn to manage money, your kids will automatically learn to manage money. And why it is a good time to take charge of your finances? Because the world has shrunk to a 5 to 6 inch device on your hand, which you know as the phone. Most of you are attending this session on phone itself. Very few of you are logged in through your laptop. But what does that mean? Everything is in your palm. In the case of this 5 to 6 inch device, which we call as the cell phone. And now the societal norms or social norms are changing. People are used to working women, especially in tier 1 and tier 2. They are used to see working women. Plus, inflation and cost of living has become so much expensive that both the partners need to work. So, and it is no longer a taboo that why should females will go and work. You have the freedom to earn and invest. Yes, of course, save and invest first. Earn and not invest directly. Earn, budget, save and invest. So it is the time to shrug off that taboo. If you're working, if you're independently handling your clinic, if you are, or maybe if I was giving this lecture to any other working woman, I would mention your jobs or anything else. But most of you are dentists, or rather more maybe siblings of dentists, or maybe dependents on dentists, or independence on dentists, I would say, not dependence on dentists. So it is the time that you should shrug off that taboo. If you're earning equally, you need to have that knowledge equally also. But for that, the mindset has to be there, and you need to have the zeal to learn also. And just saying that it is not my cup of tea is not going to give you results. So what will be required? A change in your work culture, and of course, more cooperation from your family members. I really see it a lot many times when in my finance workshops, many of the numericals, many of the questions that I give to my participants are solved first by the female participants. And that is in itself a big victory for me, in that sense, that I am at least financially empowering them. I am empowering them with the knowledge to handle their finances. And that is what is required at this stage of life. So the big thing is, firstly, change your own attitude. Secondly, take a greater interest, irrespective of whether you're single, married, widowed, or divorced. It does not matter what stage of life you are in. You can be as good as a teenager. Tonight, I'm having a session for kids. Morning, it was for seniors and senior family member, parents, or uncles and aunts. And afternoon, it is for the peer group or the women mostly. Evening, I'm having a session for the kids. And when I say kids, I mean 8 years and above. Somebody asked me, can we attend it? I said minimum 8 years. There is no upper limit. So even if you're 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, you can attend it. I'm going to do the very basic stuff, which should be easily understandable even by an 8-year-old. So that means even if your child is 8-year-old, I never mentioned, please bring male child only for the lecture. I said child and their peers for the lecture. I never mentioned any gender, which means I want to empower both, catch them really young when the kids are uprooting. These days, the government has also introduced a subject called as NFLAT, or National Financial Literacy, as early as the 3rd or the 4th standard, which means again 6, 7, 8-year-old children. So if those children can be taught at that stage of their life, they are going to be financially empowered. They're going to be very smart when it comes to handling money. See, we all know brain has 2 parts, left and right. The left one is logical, the right one is emotional. The left one is very calculative, arithmetic based, but the right one says, nahi, koi baat nahi, kar le yaar, thoda sa dil se decision lete na, that right brain comes into being. But if the left brain is stronger and makes the right brain understand that, no, this is not to be done. This is not my cup of tea. This is not my investment. It is the time. that you will not pick that. So empower your left brain more. Of course, emotion will still play a role. It's not that you have to shun off your right brain totally, but empower your left brain in that sense. So you have to overcome hurdles also. There will be, you can say, there will be people standing in your way, and it will be primarily from your family. But to become financially independent, you have to shun them away. So then what are the challenges? Firstly, dealing with the struggle of budgeting, saving, and investing. Then tackling financial illiteracy. Ignorance is bliss. If you don't know something, it does not mean it does not exist. Then balancing the needs and wants of parents and children. And then overcoming resistance in marriage. When sometimes if you are the brighter of the two partners and you learn things early, that also leads to a, you can say, a bit of clash between the egos of both the partners. But that is where men also have to understand that somebody who is brilliant in investing, brilliant in saving, brilliant in mathematics, brilliant in finances takes the lead. The patriarchal society has to go away. It does not mean that if they are men, they have the natural birthright to handle the finances. The problem starts here. When we are young, tum jao beta kitchen mein kaam karo. Nobody really discusses money matters. And when people, and this is one part, go and work in the kitchen. The second part is when you're having a conversation at the dining table. The first thing is these days families hardly eat dinner together. That is again a bitter truth of the society. Plus the nuclear family culture is coming big time into play. And let's suppose it is a joint family and people are having dinner at one table. Again, an assumption only in today's times. The first thing they'll say is, khate time gandi baat nahi karni. Money is considered equivalent to a gandi baat. And that is what is something wrong in the culture. Talking money matters is not a taboo. It should be discussed openly so that everyone becomes a stakeholder in that, a stakeholder in that conversation. So enough of moral science gyan. Let's come to the realistic point. How do women need to take charge of their finances? So women usually have that thought process that how could someone who knows nothing about finance begin to understand what most of you saw as complex? See, everything starts from zero. Everything in life. If when you started doing your kitchen work back 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years back, where whatever age you are, whenever you first started it, how many of you got a scolding? There is a goal roti nahi banti. Can't you make a round chapati? You could not do that thing perfectly. In fact, that doesn't hold true for you. That holds true for men also. When they also learned something, they could not do it perfectly. Life is all about progress. If you could do everything perfectly in a day, or if you could solve all the complex problems in the day, in the first attempt itself, then what will be the charm of adventure in life? What will be the charm of progress in life? Perfection kills progress. So don't try to be perfect right from day one. You don't know something, make that as a learning goal and learn about it. How many of you made up, we all had one first activity in our dental college as making that 2x2x2 plaster block, or some colleges are 1.5 or 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. How many of you got it correct the first time, or maybe in the first 5 attempts? Very few. How many got it in 10 times? Very few. How many got it in 10 to 20 or 10 to 15? Majority. It does not mean I got it 30, I made it 37 times. And after that, my teacher said, bas kar, tu mat bana. You can't do it. And that is where I could not make that block in 37 attempts. That was the first exercise. Should that have disheartened me that I could not do that activity? If not, Does that or did that make me a bad dentist? No. I am into 24th year of my clinical practice, which is very successful. And I'm handling it like a pro. But did I do that in the first year? Did I not make any mistakes? Hell lot. I really made a lot of mistakes. All of us do. So when it comes to finance, if you see certain things as complex, they will be complex for you because you don't know even Latin and Greek about it. But I would always say you have mathematics in your genes, not in your genes, but in something in your DNA, which the Almighty has already fitted. You are born managers. You do budgeting of the household without even formal training. Who taught you that? No one. Maybe a tip or two from your mother. That's it. But you are handling it. So there is always a learning curve for everything. We could not do everything in the first, second, third, fifth time. Does not mean we can't do it every time. The problem is at this stage of life, we don't want to try and fail. I always say, try harder, fail faster. Try harder, fail faster. The sooner you try, the sooner you will fail, the sooner you will get it right. The biggest decision is to have an action plan, rest all follows later. So what do you count in financial literacy or financial independence? You have to have a steady income. You have to have a controlled spending. It is not what comes in should be managed. What goes out should also be managed. And then once you save good amount, accumulation of assets. The assets which will start earning for you. Money is only important when it starts making money by itself. And when money does not make money itself, it's absolutely of no use. And then that also does not give you any kind of financial freedom also. And when you don't have financial freedom, you can't pursue your hobbies and your goals. And ultimately, when you are doing or following the same pattern throughout, someday, sooner or later, you will give up. You'll get bored. You will have a lot of things in this profession which you don't like. You will have that feeling of Phir aa gaya Monday, Huni Monday, bloody Monday. That feeling would always be there. You'll hate going to work on Monday because you're doing the same things over and over again. There is no charm left in life. That is where you need to understand that all these are managed in a proper action plan. And your total everyday decisions have to fit in that decision. Most people think that money grows in a line. Money hardly grows for the first few years. The first few years of compounding are dull, insipid, and boring. And when compounding takes off, it takes off like a rocket. And when it takes off like a rocket, it starts making money itself. So the first thing to learn manage money is begin with your bank account. Because your bank account is your core financial record. Take the time to understand and operate your account. I'll give you a tip. Join me in the kids class tonight. I'll explain the basics of this itself. How to handle your account, what are the basics of the account, what are the types of account. I'll teach all of that. So then in the morning session, I gave a lot of demos and a lot of 7 or 8 videos on, you can say, on handling your debit card, on your PIN, on your phishing scams. I handled a lot of for the senior citizen session that I held in the morning. So do not share your passwords. All the institutions, RBI, SEBI, IRDI, you can say even all the people are making their own efforts in educating the public. Still, in the past few years, $36 billion of fraud has happened. How does that happen? Because lack of awareness is there. A simple savings bank account is designed to save money. Of course, receive money that is due to you, make payments, and you record all the transactions. In today's time, I hardly go to a bank. I do everything online except deposit of cash. And that is, for that, I have doorstep banking facility also. Mine is a privileged bank account. Bank comes to my home and deposits the money for me. I don't need to go. Because I have kept some money are there because of which they have accorded me a privilege status. That can be accorded, of course, to any branch holder with a certain, if you fulfill a certain limit. It's not that I'm special for them. So hardly you need to go. But then it means if you are handling everything online, you need to know about those things. People struggle with their passwords. People forget and don't remember. I'll tell a very simple way in the evening how to make and manage your passwords. Again, you need to understand debit card and an ATM are same. These days, you don't get a ATM. ATM could not be used for online or e-commerce transactions. It could be used only in the ATM machine only. But with time, things change. Now only debit cards are issued where you can make a purchase. Dip, tap, DAP, Wi-Fi enabled cards, where you make all sorts of transactions, e-commerce transactions, online, offline, merchant, swipe, any kind of transactions. Plus the ATM withdrawal, of course. So internet banking lets you can say set up and make and receive payments, can add pays, send payments. It all starts with the basics. Trust me, when you have to learn finances, the first thing is to learn about banking part first. Once you are pro at banking things, along with your budgeting part, you can say it is half the battle won. Then checkbooks again are kind of a rudimentary instruments in the era of NEFT, IMPS and RTGS that we all are now used to using. So learn the process of accessing your account and understand the safety measures in place. You need to learn about net banking, how to set up, how to reset your passwords, creating an algorithm so that you can keep it safe. These days, there are a lot of, security guidelines into each bank's net banking. Most of the net banking by many banks are now safe itself. So then, as I said, it is not only about receiving money, it is about tracking the spends also. Track every rupee that you spend. So if you want to avoid the debt trap, you need to know your numbers. And you need to know how much are you spending and where are you spending. Consistency in budget is also very important. You need to keep a track of cash flow. So very few people keep a track of their expenses. They absolutely have no idea. They have this notion, kamaye to the paise, where did it go? I don't know. So let us see various stages in the life of a female as per the age or as per the stage. As a young girl, teenager or unmarried, you can say this is a stage where you can catch them really young. You teach them about these things at the very start. We all know that boys and girls have same education, but why do men take charge of money while females quietly step back? Again, the problem is rooted in centuries of social conditioning. But now it is the time to break the mold. Even adults make a few mistakes. Right brain decisions. एक ही तो बेटा मेरा, एक ही तो बेटी है मेरी. They spend a bomb on their child's wedding for one night, where people have only an opinion about how the food was, how the arrangements were. ठीक था, नहीं मेरे को इतना अच्छा नहीं लगा, खाना मजा नहीं आया, पूड़ी भी नहीं अच्छी थी, sweet dishes कम थे. That is all bullshit people have to say. And we spend a bomb to please others. COVID was a good time in that sense, I would say, when you could take only 10 or 15 or 20 on a marriage. Didn't it help? Didn't it save a lot of money? Whatever you are going to spend and please the society, rather gift that money to the kids for them to start a new venture, for them to fund their further future life, rather than spending a bomb. As I say, it's not about men or women. It is not about kids. It is the adults also who make such a mistake. Then we keep on procrastinating investment decisions. I will invest from tomorrow. If you really think so, tomorrow is a good day to start. Today is the midpoint of the year. We always say, we'll start from 1st January. Tomorrow is 1st July. Half year is over today. The new half year starts tomorrow. On top of it, it is a doctor's day tomorrow. Go for it. The problem with most of us is that tomorrow will never come. जिस कल के बारे में हमने कल सोचा था वो कल आज है. Are we doing anything today? No, we are just passing it to tomorrow. So another lesson that females can impart, as I said, you educate a female, you can teach or educate the whole family, that you can impart education to your kids. No school or college will teach a money management skill. I told you, I have an MBA finance with me, along with my other 3 MBAs. But whatever personal and clinical finance I am teaching everyone in the group since 5.5 years, and 1.5 year another group, since 7 years of online education, almost August, it will be 7 years, almost 7 years of online education, practical management of clinical finance, whatever imparting, it's all learned from my dad. It was never taught in my MBA. So as a kid, it is your responsibility to mold your child's financial future. If you are not doing that, don't expect a meaningless education in schools and colleges to teach you created that PhD community on FB. Because I fairly and squarely believe that our education system is broken. It does not prepare us for the real world. And when it does not prepare us for the real world, how are we supposed to learn things? It doesn't teach us management. It doesn't teach us documentation. It doesn't teach us finances. It doesn't teach us handling patients. It just teaches us the treatment to be done. It doesn't even properly teach us diagnosis. Once a graduate is out from the college, he's actually at the crossroads. He doesn't know what to do. We have to learn to bridge that gap. And finance is, of course, one cornerstone in that. Monthly allowance can be a good way to start, to empower kids. Open a bank account in your daughter's name and give her a debit card. Of course, you can get kids cards also at 2,500 per day limit. A kid cannot withdraw more than 2,500. The message or the phone can be given for the parents itself, so that they can keep a track. Or maybe they can download an app on their phone, or the bank's app, with maybe the viewing rights only. The OTP, because it is OTP dependent, maybe then the same number can be given for the kids also, if you don't want to give your number. But the app can be done in your phone. Initially, they will require an OTP. Sit down with your child, have that app in your phone for the bank your kid would be using. Put in some amount every month and let them use for small transaction. Jao, make a purchase of the vegetables. Give them the estimated prices. Gobi at 10 rupees per kg. Get 2 kgs. Bargain for it if you can. That is in the Indian blood. But this is not, you're not teaching them bargaining. You're teaching them money management. What they need to understand in the real life. This is one way of practical education. A teenager who can manage her money well will understand the money value more effectively. Then in our house, my elder daughter makes all the orders from Zomato and Swiggy. She calculates ki isse better padega, isme ye offer milega, isme ye deal milega. I even don't care to look at it. Said, Dad, do we do a COD? I said, no problem. Whichever mode of payment you want, I'll do it, but you order. And she makes sure that she fits in the budgetary thing. This is nothing but teaching them the real skills. When the real time comes in her life, she'll be equipped to handle the finances better. Of course, privacy of maintaining the card details is very important. Children are very aware of these things more than many of us. That is where they maintain it. But then if these things are taught to females, these things can directly go to kids, or both the kids, 3 kids, whatever number of kids you have in family. Of course, family sizes are also shrinking in today's time. So you can teach all the kids. Then it is not only about spending and saving only. The next step is to introduce them to the world of investing. As a parent, you both have the responsibility to do that. And it's not only for daughter, it is for son also. But son, they always say, son will always learn by himself, or automatically he will be learning only because he has to handle. That thought process should be for the daughters also. So patience is the key factor. Remember, whenever you have that notion that I can't do it, remember your first year, dental materials, 1 inch by 1 inch block. How many times? Remember, I said 37. I made it 37 times. Still did not get it right. So kids will make mistakes. Learn to accept those mistakes. Nobody can be perfect in the first path. This is one way of transforming their financial life by teaching them the basics of personal finance. Because if you catch them early, teach them early, you can say they can be better prepared for their challenges. Rather than gifting your daughter or son a latest iPhone or a lavish dinner or an expensive dress, financial literacy and money empowerment can be a better gift for them, can be a better durable asset for them. The problem is you have to think it like that. Of course, the receiver also has to think like that. Now, as a married female or a working or a non-working, you need to think to save even when you don't think you can. Save mindlessly, spend consciously. We do the reverse. We save consciously and spend mindlessly. Remember, you have that best budgeteer in your DNA. If you can handle that, that is the best way. Sometimes you can say, no matter what you do, you don't seem to get ahead in terms of money. It's okay. Because every time you plan or save something, some other urgent expense pops up. And again, that's okay. Small things will make a big difference, surely. Learn to imbibe that habit. A lot of us consider this frugal as cheap. We believe that if it is a bulk buying, it is actually being cheaper. You end up getting more things in bulk buying in the expired shelves or unutilized ones. So actually you are misusing that money. So focus on progress, not perfection. When everything goes wrong, remember that it is only a snapshot in time and not the big picture. So many colleagues, मैं एक बारी करके perfectly सीखना चाहता हूं, then they don't do anything. Doing something will make a progress. We all know 1.01 raised to the power 365 is 37. 0.01 effort each day. 1 raised to the power 365 is 1 only. 1.01 into 365 or raised to the power 365 is 37. You just by a very small effort each day, learning. As I said, many a times you will know what you don't know. When you understand that I don't know this thing, make that as a learning goal. Everything is learnable, everything is implementable. The problem is you should have the zeal to learn. Figure out why you can't save, why these expenses pop off. Either you have an income problem or a spending problem. As I said, money has not been your friend. You have failed to make friends with money. You have a hatred relationship with your money. So deep dive where your money has been going. Track those expenses. Check your bank statement, check your credit card statement. We will see where your money is actually going, which is the leaking bucket in your sinking ship. Stop spending a lot of money on fancy stuff. Courtesy social media, people live in this world where flaunting a new car, a new house, a new watch, a new vacation is a trend, is the in thing. Trust me guys, जब सोशल मीडिया नहीं था तब भी लोग ये चीजें खरीदते थे, शायद इससे ज्यादा खरीदते थे क्योंकि जमाना सस्ता था. लेकिन अब खरीदे ना खरीदे फ्लॉन्ट जरूर करते हैं. Flaunting did not happen. Rather, people believe being silent success is sexy. There is no better word to, you can say, achieve and let it be there. But in today's world, flaunting has become the new realm of life, new way of life. And that is where we are making a mistake. Highlight your transactions by each category, where the money is going. If you know what the transaction was, that's okay. Where you don't know, put I don't know or IDK against that transaction. Total up that category to find the guilty category. It may be a want category. It may be a need category. It may be frugal as cheap category. It may be economic spending. It may be overstocking. It may be whatever, indulging in something which was not planned. But remember, don't make it overly complicated. You don't only have to manage the incoming, you have to manage the outgoing. This is how to manage the outgoing money. Again, as I said, the whole point is actually to see where you can save money, where you can make a cut, and where you can make a difference in your life. You may be spending more on the stuff that you don't even realize. So once you know where your money has been going, there is the time for a plan, and then we can create a roadmap. Because then we need to decide where we want to go, how much we need to save, and for what. You need to be very specific why you need it. And of course, it will help you stay motivated. Money saved is money earned. And once you save it, that is the only amount that is going to go to investment. And which amount goes to investment is the one which is going to make money for you. So people think always for the 9th or the 10th step. They forget the basic steps, which I am telling you. Incoming, outgoing, tracking, budgeting, controlling the spends, and matching that category which has the maximum spends, controlling that category, having more at your disposal, saving more, and ultimately investing. Because invest करेंगे तो grow करेंगे तो आप financially independent होंगे, और grow करेंगे तो money will make money for you. And the next problem, once you have saved it, there is a lack of disciplined investments. People invest what is left after spending, whereas you should be doing the reverse. You should be spending what is left after investing, because the former results in undisciplined investment. Creating a monthly budget, of course, should not be a soul-sucking task. Plan out your bills, how much you have. You can say pick out last 3 months averages, that this is the amount that needs to go for my expenses. With what is left, you just need to plan for it and go forward towards your goals. The more you plan, the better off it will be for you. Again, the FOMO approach, going for an exotic vacation because my neighbor went in, my friend went in, my competitor went in, my neighboring dentist went in. We are all making those mistakes. These things happened even before social media, but they are being flaunted more in today's times. So even if you're single, married, divorced, separated, widowed, whatever stage of life you are in, educate yourself. Make those learning goals come true. And education should not stop at college. Did we stop dentistry in our college times? No, we are constantly updating and upgrading. But finance is one thing which is an alien thing for many of us. Learn about savings, debt, budgeting, money management, investing as much as you can. Ultimately, at the end of the day, agar paisa nahi bacha, to there is no point in working even. There is no point. You can't keep on working till 80 years of age and expect to be at the same efficiency as a 40-year-old. It is cardinal sin to do that, I would say. You have to make multiple sources of income, and the best second source is compounding. Compounding when the money starts making money for you. And money will start making money for you when you invest it. And when you start investing early in your life, that phase of compounding will start early as well. So think about it in the longer picture. Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Save mindlessly, spend consciously. So what can be the hurdles for women? We all know break after childbirth, maternity leaves are the truth of the society. But the thing is how you use this break. Now, officially, you get a break from the government and also in a private setup also. So you need to continue to network with your colleagues so that your learning doesn't go down. You stay in touch, at least theoretically, if not practically. It is better to remain connected in your line. Don't we do that in our dentistry fairs? Then don't buy things because they are on great discount. The Amazon Great Indian Sale and Flipkart Big Billion Days happens 3 or 4 times a year. But we are made to think that if this offer passes away, this offer will never come back. It will come back after another quarter. maybe 4 times or 5 times a year, but we spend our hard-earned money and block our money in them. Then many of you are sandwich moms. You are jugglers between your clinic, between your home, and between your kids, you can say professional space, or kids, you can say schooling space. You are the ones who will get drop them. You are the ones who will, you can say, do the homework with them. You are the ones who will manage your home also. You are the ones who will manage your clinic also. So you are being a sandwich. I know it's not easy. Rather, I would say a very simple line which all of us know. The strongest shoulders only get the maximum burden. So God gives burden to only those who can handle. The rest don't get it. But then the best approach is that if so many things are dependent on you, you need to secure yourself first, which means you need to have a term plan for an insurance, which means you need to have a medical insurance, which means you need to have a liability insurance, which we also know as the professional indemnity policy. So if you are financially strong, you will be able to handle all the responsibilities that you're doing. Sometimes you can say you can offer independence to your parents also. Sometimes you can say your parents don't have a son. In Punjab, we always say very fondly, लड़का और लड़कियों को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, because लड़का होगा तो वो कनाडा ऑस्ट्रेलिया चला जाएगा, लड़की होगी वो यहाँ भी मैरिड हुई ना मैरिड हुई, so she's not going to stay with the parents. So in any case, Punjab, whether you are men or women or male or female, does not make any difference as your progeny. So with your knowledge, you can help them invest their retirement benefits. If you are, you can say, financially empowered, you can guide your parents towards that path, towards educating them towards finances, towards educating them towards creating awareness, towards educating them towards preventing themselves from the scams or the phishing things. But for that, you need to be financially empowered. And if you can help them understand, that is why I took that session in the morning. It was not only about the parents, it was about the children also, who are going to help their parents in creating awareness or managing their money, or at least guiding and teaching them. And I ended up in the morning with a slide about karma biting back. So if some of you attended in the morning. So buy an insurance policy which has a lesser base cover and a higher top-up plan for a medical policy. People buy a higher policy, ठीक है 20 लाख की medical claim ले लो. Wrong approach. Buy a 5 lakh basic cover along with maybe a 20 lakh super top-up or top-up. That will come out to almost 1/3 or 1/5 the cost of what you will be spending on a higher base plan. Then the females lust, not in a wrong way, but in the right way. Their lust for gold. They have a penchant for gold. They rather love to have it. They prefer to have physical gold, but then that gold gathers dust in the locker, which is hardly, you can say, visible to them once or twice a year. Gold can be bought in different forms: bars, coins, jewelry. And of course, this comes at a cost, results in risk of shortage, and of course, risks of being stolen and concerns about purity. So if you plan to keep your excessive gold in locker only, better not buy it. But how can I tell a woman to not, tell a female to not buy gold? It will be crime on my part if I do that. But then that is the way. Gold monetization scheme, where you can monetize your gold for a 2.25% tax-free return. The gold ETF, the best is sovereign gold bonds, comes out every alternate month or so. I keep informing them of the same. Many of you started the journey with me 2 years back when they came to know about SGB, or SGB was made easier 2 years back to invest via internet banking. Before that, it could be invested only in the Demat account way. So you can invest via the internet banking also. So many of you started 2 years back, and in 2 years' time, it has already grown 25% at 4,600, and now it is 6,000. That is sweet 25% growth, 12.5% per year, and that too tax-free, free, totally tax-free. Plus, on top of that, you're getting interest of 2.5% as well. What else do you want? Then there is a gold deposit scheme like an FDR in gold, or a digital gold from MMTC and PAMP, Singapore, or a Paytm gold. The bottom line is you need to understand that investment in knowledge will always pay you the best interest. So the problem is plague most of us, FOMO approach, where we spend more. But that comes with the, you can say, a rider also. You only live once. I say always to FOMO and YOLO guys that if you plan that ek hi to zindagi mili hai, why do I miss out? Why should I miss out? You will also grow old. And senile age is never kind, or it is seldom kind. Remember that. So if you're worrying what to do, what not to do, learn finance. For becoming rich, investments have to be optimum, but your security also. Term plan needs to be 1 crore along with a disability cover of 1 crore. We being dentists, everything in life depends upon our hands and legs. Mediclaim minimum base cover 5 lakhs, top up, super top up 10 lakh, 15, 20 lakhs. Some real estate, when you get more empowered, emergency fund of 5 to 7 lakhs. Some gold and silver, minimum 5 lakhs or 10 to 15% each year of your investment. Any other plans, if you can afford, for a money back plan, rental, pension, or whatever. So remember, it all starts from taking small little steps. So what is the carry home gyan for today? Women have to take charge of their finances. Future is unpredictable and unforeseen. Whatever stage of life, whether you are, it is better to plan than be at the crossroads. Think about it. Your future is actually in your hands. So the moral of the whole story is do not spend more than what you can make. Actively invest and track your network. Don't go into debt to impress others. And a car is a depreciating asset and not a thing to be flaunted. So never flaunt that, or never think of that as an asset. Now, all you women out there, finance should be your cup of tea from today. Every year I make an attempt to at least have one session exclusively for females. Whatever I can. See, I am doing whatever I can for my payback to the society, be it females, be it colleagues. I am doing in whatever way I can. Trust me, guys, sometimes I don't have time. Sometimes I have to do work overtime to put in blogs, to shoot videos, to take sessions. It is not easy for a person like me who's at this stage of life where the life is sandwiched between multiple aspects, doing offline workshops also for the past 6 months. For that, I had to put my online workshops on hold for 6 months. January to June, today is the last day of my break of online workshops. I did not do even a single workshop, my paid workshops, but I'm doing these free sessions because I feel this is my giveaway or payback to the society. I had a few offline commitments to honor since the pre-COVID time. One of the commitments was on the day of Janta Curfew, 22nd of March, the day Janta Curfew was there just before the lockdown. That commitment I fulfilled last week only in Hyderabad. And that webinar, that one-day conference had been planned for 3 times. Then we planned in April 2021. Then second lockdown happened. So things have been doing. So I had to honor offline commitment. So I had to put a break to online. And I earn more in online workshops. And online education funds my further education. But I had to put that barrier and honor my offline commitments. So if you are there understanding, please make sure finance should be your cup of tea from today onwards. Thank you. With that, I end my presentation. Before I wind up, just a couple of announcements. You all know about Facebook group that I've been running. Of course, it is the PhD community. So that community is on the Facebook by the name of Dr. Bhavdeep. So it is again plugging the handicaps in dentistry because I feel education system is broken. We are not taught about documentation, management, and finance. And luckily, I'm teaching all these 3. So I try to do whatever in my way, you can say, to give back. Most of you are in my community. These sessions are happening for the community itself. So if your friends or you can say colleagues want to be added in that community, you can send a message. You have my number already. So my YouTube channel, the journey started 3 years back only in June 2020 when I made my first video. So it has been too long, 650 plus videos. The only thing which I've done is consistency. And that is what I will encourage in you also. So all my social media presence is by my name only, Dr. Bhavdeep, without any space, name, underscore. Everywhere it is same. YouTube, Facebook, everywhere it is same. You can follow me everywhere, anywhere you want to. So do send me your feedback on my cell or in the group. If you don't want to say anything about me, I don't mind. But do post your takeaways in the WhatsApp community that you are. Morning also, I told the guys who were attending to post their feedback. One of them did, I guess. So that too in group one itself. So it is, if I am considering these things as my responsibility, take that also to educate those colleagues who are very busy in their clinic, to educate them, to give some takeaway points to them if you have learned anything from today's session. So with this, I stop my share for questions, and I'm going to unmute all of you. You can unmute and ask me whatever you want to. Yes, okay. Yes, Dr. Varsha, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Aarti. Thank you, Dr. Divya. Thank you, Dr. Mayur. Thank you, Dr. Aarti Daswani. Thank you, Dr. Snehal. Thank you, Dr. Parul. Thank you, Dr. Amit. Yes, thanks to Uncle Ji Amit. Yes, thank you, Dr. Sonia. Thank you, Dr. Sroti. Thank you, Dr. Surbi. Thank you, Dr. Arjita. Thank you, Dr. Shruti. Thank you, Dr. Dipali. Yes, we should start financing Dr. Dipali from today itself. Thank you, Dr. Sonia. Thank you, Dr. Sudesh. Thank you, Dr. Swati. Thank you, Dr. Rajkumar. Thank you, Dr. Sonia. Thank you, Dr. Maher. Thank you, Dr. Bhavna. Thank you, Dr. Sabyasachi. Thank you, Dr. Padmja. Yes, thank you, one and all. Anyone wants to ask any question, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask. Thank you, Dr. Bindu. Anyone wants to ask anything, please feel free to ask.
No, video this.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
सर यदि हम अपने पेरेंट्स के नॉमिनी नहीं है तो लीगल हेयर्स होते हैं या वो भी वैलिड नहीं होता है यदि नॉमिनी नहीं है तो?
लीगल हायर जो होते हैं मैम, दे आर यूजुअली डिसाइडेड आफ्टर द डेथ, एंड इफ देयर इज नो विल, no proper will, then all the, you can say, sons and daughters are the legal heirs and have an equal share in the property.
Okay.
If father dies, then mother and all the children, irrespective of female or male, have an equal share, unless there is a will. If there is a will, for example, the father has bequeathed, or you can say requested everything to be given to his wife, then she is the legal heir. If there is no will, then automatically the wife, or if in this case, let's suppose a wife expires and she was having assets, then the husband and the sons and daughters become the owner of the property or the assets held by the mother. So that is the case. और जो आपने नॉमिनी की बात करी ना, नॉमिनी इंडिविजुअल एसेट्स में होता है, ओवरऑल नॉमिनी नहीं होता। ओवरऑल नॉमिनी जो होता है, दैट इज एक्चुअली, यू कैन से इन एन एफडी, इन म्यूचुअल फंड, कोई भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट होगा उसका अलग से नॉमिनी है।
Thank you, sir.
Okay, doc. Oh, thank you. Swati asks, as you said, compounding is the method where money makes money. Mutual funds are the ways to go for it. How to start with mutual funds? See, there are multiple ways to go for it. I have dealt that multiple times in many of my sessions and many of my blogs. Mutual fund is just one instrument. It is not the end of all instruments. For example, I presume that you are 30 years old. In Indian conditions, I would say 80 minus your age is the formula to go in for equity. Overall, the formula is 100 minus your age, means 100 minus 30, 70% of your money which you're investing should go in equity. In Indian conditions, we don't consider that ratio safe. So we follow the formula of 80 minus your age. What I mean by that is, let's suppose you're 30. 80 minus 30 is 50. So that means 50% of your money should go in equity. Now, equity can be mutual funds, equity can be stocks. Let's think it is mutual funds. That is still 50%. What about the remaining 50%? You can't put in 100% of your money in equity. So you have to balance out those things. Some money will go in debt portion, some money will go in equity, some money will go in balanced, and some money will go in hedge. Hedge होता है कि डेट आपको 8 दे रहा है, इक्विटी आपको 12 दे रही है, आपको चाहिए 10 से ऊपर, तो समथिंग विच कैन ब्रिंग द 8 ऑफ डेट टू around 10. Get my point? Because as you grow in age, your equity exposure decreases. Now at the age of 30, you are in a perfect space. 50 इक्विटी है, बाकी सारे 50 से कम है, और 50 है आसपास है, सब मिला के गोल्ड, बैलेंस और एवरीथिंग. सो मींस अगर वो आपको 10 से कम देंगे, तो अगर ये 12 देगी तो 8 और 12 का एवरेज 10 आ जाएगा. बट व्हाट विल हैपन टू अ पर्सन हु इज 50 years of age? His equity exposure would be 30%. He has to put 70% in other instruments, which might be giving less than 10%. Now, at that stage, the goal for all of us is to beat inflation. Now, beating inflation means कि आपकी cost of living increases by 10% each year. Once your cost of living increases by 10% each year, means every investment of you, on an average, should give you 10. Equity is giving you 12, 13. Debt is giving you 7, 8. Gold is, I already told you, 2 साल में 25, average 12.5 per year. Gold is also at that percentage. Now, how much gold? Gold is advisable at 10 to 15% of total assets. Now, you have divided it into parts. So there are separate instruments for debt. There are separate instruments for balanced. There are separate instruments for gold. The good thing is mutual funds can form only a portion of the equity. I call PPF as the new debt. Why? It is giving 7.1. People say 7.1 ही तो दे रहा है. FD भी तो उतना दे देती है, आजकल तो 8% हो गई है FD. Understand, PPF is tax free. If PPF was 10.1 at 30%, आपका in hand 7.1 आएगा. So PPF is not giving you 7.1, it is giving you 10.1. Understand, अगर आपका डेट भी आपको 10 दे रहा है, तो आपकी एवरेज कहां से कहां पहुंच जाएगी? बैलेंस्ड. पीपल स्टिल गो फॉर म्यूचुअल फंड. म्यूचुअल फंड भी उसी में डाल दो, डेट भी म्यूचुअल फंड, बैलेंस भी म्यूचुअल फंड. बैलेंस के लिए सबसे लो कॉस्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंट है एनपीएस, नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम. अगेन गिविंग यू 10, 11, 12%. Second highest return giving in that sense, traditionally in the past 4 or 5 years. जितना भी उसका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है तो 2009 की है, पर 17 के बाद इंपॉर्टेंस उसकी हुई when it became tax free और ट्रिपल ई partial portion. So if you are using कि आपका डेट भी 10 दे रहा है, बैलेंस भी 10, 11, 12 दे रहा है, हेज गोल्ड भी आपको 10, 11, 12 दे रहा है, वो भी टैक्स फ्री अगर एसजीबी में जाते हो. अगर वो भी आपने म्यूचुअल फंड में डाला ईटीएफ, तो फिर तो आप तो 100% म्यूचुअल फंड में हो गए डिपेंडेंट ना. फिर डाइवर्सिफिकेशन काहे की हुई? फिर तो नाम की है कि मैंने चाइनीज मंगवाना है, चलो आप चीज चिली मंगवा लो, मंचूरियन मंगवा लो, और वो मंगवा लो, थोड़ा सा वो सब्जी हो जाएगी मंचूरियन की, चीज चिली मेरा पनीर आ गया, एंड मैं वैसे नूडल्स खाना चाहती हूँ. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे ऑल ऑफ 3 आर चाइनीज ओनली. सो अगर आप सब कुछ चाइनीज ही खाना है, सब कुछ म्यूचुअल फंड खाना है, व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ अदर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स? then you are not diversifying. then आप वो खा रहे हैं ना, एक एग का पकौड़ा खा रहे हैं, एक एग को फ्राई करके खा रहे हैं, एक एग को आप ऑमलेट बना के खा रहे हैं, और बॉइल्ड एग भी खा रहे हैं. you're ultimately having an egg meal only, trying to, it is just quoted differently. So PPF is altogether different, NPS is altogether different, SGB and gold is altogether different, mutual funds equity is totally different. 4 investments more than enough. 10,000 इन्वेस्टमेंट आते हैं मार्केट में, जरूरत नहीं है किसी चीज की. These are the basics. I've written a detailed blog on it, 3-part series. ESG कम्युनिटी में जाइए, सर्च करिए, आपको मिल जाएगा ब्लॉग. LTI, डेंटिस्ट LTI, लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, LTI नाम से था. You'll understand what I mean to say. People are fond of having flashy investments in their portfolio. You don't need to. 4 basics are good enough. I have created a big fortune from these 4 only. You don't need more. Mutual funds, you ask how to start about it. Zerodha की ऑनलाइन यूनिवर्सिटी है, उससे बेसिक स्टार्ट करना शुरू कर दीजिए। मेरे 2 साल पहले जून 30th को ही मैंने every hour I launch 15 small videos, 6 to 8 minute videos. They're all on my channel. Go to different playlists, सब playlist अलग अलग बनी हुई है मेरी. Go to finance playlist, finance short videos. Exactly 2 साल पुराना वीडियो होगा, June 30th, 2021. You'll have 15 videos to give you a head start in mutual funds. Watch those videos. You'll understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, I hope it answers your question. Okay. So Dr. Dipali asks, I'm a beginner. How much percentage should we invest from our income? I also only know about mutual fund. Is it enough for investment? So I answered the second part of your question, Dr. Dipali, itself, that mutual fund alone is not enough. Is not enough. You need to have diversified portfolio. You need to have all in your portfolio. Okay. So how much should I invest from my income? Save mindlessly. That is the only answer. Spend consciously as much as you can. If your house is running with your husband's income, please mark my words. If your house is running with your husband's income, divert 80% of your income towards your saving. See, it's not that I have earned billions, that I have been able to create something for myself even at the age of 45. I am 46 now. I could say at 45 that I am financially retired. I can retire even today. But what was the key to success? I'll divulge something in that. 15 years back, or 16, 17 years back, when my OPD literally jumped up with the birth of my daughter in 2007, that is when I actually started making big money. I was earning good money before that, or decent money before that, in my 7 years of practice. But when I started really earning big money, it was after the birth of my daughter. I fully credit her for that. So that was the time when my dad and me sat down, that now you are earning, maybe in the second or the third month when it actually happened, that now you are earning good, or earning a lot. I am managing the household. I am running the household with my pension. And I don't think you should have a problem. I said, okay, I'm having no problem. For minor, we were having only one child. At that point of time, my wife managed the kids part, or the जो छोटे बच्चे की होती है ना, छोटे मोटे डायपर, ये वो छोटे मोटी चीजें, जो भी छोटे मोटे तो नहीं होती, बहुत सारी होती हैं, but whatever it was, she was managing that. But whatever I was earning, I was only splurging somewhat on the vacation or any small part. I used to divert, for the next 8 to 10 years, I diverted 80% of my income. And that was not my income. It was a big income at that time. I diverted 80% at that point of time. And I became free in 10 years. I became free in 10 years. But yes, it was not my brain. It was my father's brain, my execution, but a support from my other family members as well, from my dad and my wife. And my wife did not know about it. Why are we doing this? Even I did not know about it. But my father knew it. He was the master planner. And he told me after 10 years, now tell me, what advice did I give you? Was it fruitful for you? I said, yes, it 100% was. That is what I give to all of you. Think mutual funds, but don't think only mutual funds. That is the thing I will advise you for today. I hope I answer your question, Dr. Dipali. You should have a balanced investment.
Sir, can I answer?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, FD में जो interest आता है, FDs में जो interest आता है, it is taxable. तो वो can't we do कि FD में जो interest आया उसको हम reinvest कर दें?
जो आपको मिला है उस पे तो टैक्स लगेगा, reinvest कर दो, टैक्स तो लगेगा ना, जो इनकम बन गई आपकी, जो आपको मिल गया from the bank, that has become your income. Even if you reinvest over the income earned, you pay interest only, you pay tax only on the interest, not on the principal portion.
Yes, sir.
So आइसक्रीम का 1/3 गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को दे दो. कहते हैं बच्चे से आइसक्रीम लो, उसका 1/3 खा लो, एक बिग चंक खा लो. जितनी बची उसको बोलो अब खाओ। तो छोटे बच्चे को टैक्स भरने की आदत हम बचपन से सिखा सकते हैं, लाइक दिस।
Sir, it's like NPS में 50,000 is the limit of like tax deduction के लिए 50,000 is exempt, है ना? उसके ऊपर जो करते हैं हम, that is taxable.
No, you can invest up to 10% of your 20% of your gross income in the NPS. आपका पैसा ग्रो करेगा ना, आपको टैक्स रिबेट नहीं मिलेगा। टैक्सेबल का क्या लेना देना हो गया यहाँ पे?
Okay. Sir, confusion.
म्यूचुअल फंड नहीं, कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं रखो इसमें। जितना आप डाल सकते हो 20% ऑफ योर ग्रॉस सैलरी, ग्रॉस इनकम कैन बी पुट इन म्यूचुअल, कैन बी पुट इन एनपीएस। ओके, डज इट आंसर योर क्वेश्चन? जितना आप डाल सकते हैं एनपीएस में डालो, लेकिन कंसिडर ना, देखो आपने इन्वेस्ट कैसे करना है। 30 years ऑफ एज, या चलो 40 years ऑफ एज गिन लेते हैं हम लोग। 40 आपका जाएगा इक्विटी में, 10 से 15 आपका गया गोल्ड में, 55 बचा कितना? 45। उसमें से आप 25 और 20 की रेशो डाल लो फॉर बैलेंस्ड एंड डेट। तो डेट में 20 से ऊपर नहीं जाना चाहिए। 25 to 30 इन योर हाइब्रिड। अब जितना आपका टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट है फॉर द ईयर, ठीक है, यू कैन डिवाइड। अगर आप टोटली 2 लाख इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, फिर तो आपका 25% बचेगा ही 50,000 ना। फिर तो आपके लिए वो एनपीएस की लिमिट ही वो बन जाएगी, क्योंकि आप टोटली 2 लाख इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो। इट शुड बी लाइक दिस। ओके ओके, डॉक्टर राजकुमार, हाँ जी, बोलिए बोलिए।
मान लेते हैं 2 लाख एनपीएस में इन्वेस्ट किया है।
2 लाख के लिए आपको 20 लाख, आपको 10 लाख की इनकम चाहिए। 20% ऑफ योर ग्रॉस इनकम शुड बी देयर। मान लेना तो है, लिमिट से ज्यादा नहीं जा सकते आप। ओके, so that is the upper limit. It's not that आपने करना ही करना है। That is what I am saying. You have to calculate कि आपका इक्विटी में कितना जा रहा है, आपका डेट में कितना जा रहा है, आपका गोल्ड में कितना जा रहा है, आपका बैलेंस में उतना, उस हिसाब से आप डिवाइड करेंगे। कि आप टैक्स की भी एडवांटेज ले लें, उसकी भी एडवांटेज ले लें। ओके, तो डेट के करना ही नहीं, सोचना ही नहीं उस हिसाब से। Okay, Dr. Rajkumar asks, I have a decent chunk in my debt funds before the implementation of no indexation. Okay, should I hold on to that or switch to somewhere else? Dr. Rajkumar, I would say you have gone through the tough period now. Now it is time to actually bear the fruits. Market crossed 19,000 and closed at 18,900. Today it crossed 19,000. I checked down till 12 noon. I could not check after that. So it is already in the growth phase. India is a very progressive market. So you have held through the zero phase. In the past 2 years, we are actually at a 0-0 phase. That our markets have not, you can say, given any return. So if you have held through that period, don't take that out. That is your investment, which is there, which is at least earning something. Now let it appreciate in the growing phase. And once it is at a good phase, once you find a suitable avenue, then diversify that money into something else. Remember, this is your old money, invested money. It is not your today's money. हाँ, आज आप डेट में मत डालें। मेरी डिक्शनरी में डेट म्यूचुअल फंड नाम की चीज बचपन से नहीं है। बचपन से मीन्स इन द बचपन ऑफ माई इन्वेस्टमेंट, आई वुड से, when I started investing from 2007-8. I've never even invested once in any debt instrument, any debt mutual fund, I mean to say. Never invested in gold ETF. Never invested in even a hybrid mutual fund. वो बैलेंस्ड एडवांटेज फंड नाम की चीज जो मेरी डिक्शनरी में नहीं है। वो बैलेंस कैसे और एडवांटेज कैसे, दोनों चीजें नहीं हो सकती। या वो बैलेंस होगा या वो एडवांटेज होगा। वो नाम जो मर्जी दे दो, वो मेरी डिक्शनरी में नहीं। एंड व्हेन देयर आर स्पेशलिस्ट फॉर दैट जॉब in the form of PPF and NPS, why do I need all-rounders? अगर all-rounders ने मैच जिताना, तो why doesn't a team play with 11 all-rounders? All people can bat, all people can keep, all people can bowl, all people can field. It is a wonderful world to have है। और फिर भी टीम खेलती है 5-6 बैट्समैन, 1 विकेट कीपर, 4 बॉलर, इसी तरह खेलती है ना। So balance is the key in every sphere of life. So in this also, a proper balance of debt, equity, hedge, and balanced funds is needed. And जैसे मैंने बोला, अगर आप सब में म्यूचुअल फंड डाल रहे हैं, तो you're actually, you can say, ordering different items of Chinese and calling it a Indian meal. It's not. I hope I answered your question. Thank you. Any more questions? Okay, I'll see you, some of you or all of you, at 8 p.m. today in the kids section today. Remember, it is for the kids, but you are free to attend. It's not that you're all are pros. There are so many things to learn, like kids, if you want to be there. So just a small request, just put in your takeaways in the group as your give back to the society. Post it for your friends, for your colleagues who could not attend because they were busy in the clinic. That's okay. I don't mind. It is their choice. I always say that life is all about choices. Make sure you make the right ones. They made their choice. You make your choice. So better that you post something for them. So till we meet again, bye-bye and take care. Good. Have a good day.